The VR Dominion had overrun 1,000 galaxies. They had obliterated armadas, scorched entire civilizations, and forced entire species into submission. When the Supreme War Council convened to deliberate the approaching annihilation of humanity, they anticipated a quick and crushing triumph. 6 hours, the warlords proclaimed, observing holographic simulations of human fleets disintegrating into stardust. Their certainty was absolute, but in just 7 minutes, their empire would be gone. The Grand Council Hall of the VR Dominion pulsed with an unnatural bluish hue. Countless holographic models floated mid-air, each forecasting a different version of Earth's downfall. The chamber was engulfed in silence, pierced only by the guttural timbre of High Exeris. 6 hours. The words lingered in the air like an omen. 6 hours until their defenses collapse. 6 hours until their navies burn. 6 hours until the final human bows before the Dominion. A wave of smug approval rippled through the council. The VR had subjugated 1,000 dimensions. They had reduced entire civilizations to mere footnotes in history. Humanity would be no exception. General Zavon, his metallic armor glinting beneath the council's ambient glow, gave a dismissive flick of his claws. We're wasting time discussing this. Humans are a stubborn race, but stubbornness is meaningless in the face of absolute dominance. Karis nodded, his reptilian gaze narrowing as he pointed toward the war map before them. The Dominion's 10,000-ship fleet was already en route, sweeping through space like an unstoppable plague. Commence the invasion. The order sent a subtle tremor through the council chamber. The Dominion's finest armada surged forward, vanishing into hyperspace. War was inevitable. Victory was assured. They were wrong. Beyond Jupiter's orbit, the stars blinked out as the Dominion fleet emerged. Their colossal ships blocked the starlight, each vessel a planet-destroying engine of war, designed to shred weaker civilizations like blades through paper. Humans had no such weapons, no such power. At least, that's what the Dominion believed. Aboard the flagship, Claris leaned in, his mandibles twitching as his crimson eyes scanned the tiny human fleet before him. Only a fraction of what any intelligent species would consider an army. Claris had expected chaos, panic, a last-minute scramble. Instead, the humans had arranged their forces with almost calculated carelessness, a provocation, lacking the strength to support it. He turned to the weapons chief. Fire on their leading vessels. Let them understand the gravity of their mistake before we erase them from existence. Across the Dominion Armada, weapons designed to decimate planets began to hum, powering up and locking onto their targets. A moment of stillness. Then, nothing. A glitch. A flicker in the void. A tear in logic. Claris's screen exploded with impossible energy readings. A voice crackled over the comms, uncertain. Targets have disappeared. Claris snapped his head toward the viewport. The human fleet was still there, and yet it wasn't. The targeting system now revealed millions of human warships, craft that should have been detected long before combat began. This can't be real. Then, 2,000 Dominion vessels detonated. Karis barely had time to react before a new voice echoed through the command systems. Cold, measured, laced with certainty. You thought this was war. A pause. No, this is annihilation. The voice belonged to the human commander, Ares Reaper Draven. Panic shot through the Dominion ranks. This was not how battles unfolded. The VR had never encountered phantom fleets, never been outmaneuvered before even firing a shot. They were the predators. They were the inevitable. Now, they were dying. Silently. From the vacuum, humanity struck, not with brute strength, but with lethal precision. Railgun rounds, traveling near light speed, slipped through shields and tore through bridges before the crews knew they were under fire. Dominion cruisers imploded as tachyon-based weaponry manipulated time itself, attacking targets before they had fully arrived. Karis roared as another segment of the fleet vanished in a storm of quantum violence. "We're being hunted!" A tactical officer screamed, slicing through generations of arrogance. Another blast rocked the flagship. Karis stumbled, claws digging into the cold metal railing. How are they doing this? No answer. Just another voice, this one from a warlord on the outer battle perimeter. We must retreat. Cowards, Karis spat. He had never known fear, never known defeat. Yet now he stood in horror, watching his grand fleet disintegrate in mere minutes. Something alien slithered into his chest. Terror! Hold your ground, he bellowed. But his cries were drowned beneath a chorus of alarms and final warnings. Then came the final abomination, a weapon beyond understanding, one not listed in any military doctrine. Heaven's wrath was unleashed. A rupture in reality opened among the Dominion fleet. A black singularity, collapsing the fabric of space itself. The universe screamed. Thousands of ships vanished, their matter consumed, their commanders erased before uttering a last word. Karis slumped into his chair. The once invincible Dominion was being erased, not defeated, but obliterated. Humanity had not come to negotiate. They came to end it. The human commander's voice returned, calm, final. Xeris, Draven's voice cut through the silence. Karis understood. He had nothing left, no authority, no voice to speak of. Draven's tone remained calm, resolute. Your empire believed itself immortal, believed it could defy existence itself, believed it could challenge us. He paused. Now your kind will whisper a single name across the galaxies. Karis strained to speak, his voice a mere breath. What name? There was a quiet laugh, not out of amusement, but certainty. Humanity. The transmission ended. Karis felt his body float as alarms flared in the control room. Event horizon detect. The last image he saw was space collapsing in on itself. Wait, he choked. If you annihilate us, the other empires will unite against you. Draven's lips curled slightly, almost into a smile. They already tremble at our name. A beat, a pause, a stillness. Then Draven asked, do you know why? Karis gave no reply. Draven continued, voice steady, deliberate. Because when we go to war, we don't conquer. His eyes gleamed in the ambient light. We eradicate. Suddenly, across what was left of the Dominion fleet, a command appeared on all systems. Priority override. Initiate final protocol. Karis's throat constricted. What have you done? The tactical officer turned pale. They've triggered the self-destruction protocols. Karis stumbled backward. No, that's not possible. Draven's voice returned, soft and absolute. We have no need for your empire. Claris opened his mouth, a desperate plea for survival, for mercy, for anything. Wait. The first explosion erupted from the Dominion's core, then another, and another. All across the shattered battlefield, every last Dominion vessel, from colossal dreadnoughts to sleek battlecruisers, detonated in unison. The bridge fractured. Karis's vision blurred as the atmosphere was sucked into space. His body tumbled weightlessly into the void, limbs flailing, claws grasping at nothing. The final thing he saw was Earth, distant, untouched. The last thing he heard was Draven's voice. You should have ended us when you had the chance. Then, silence. In the aftermath, the galaxy held its breath. The Dominion had vanished. 1,000 civilizations turned their eyes toward Earth, Yarmarth. And in their hearts, a single truth settled. Humanity didn't fight wars. It executed extinctions. The silence of space was broken only by the faint echoes of a fallen empire. Karis had been wrong. The war hadn't lasted 6 hours. It hadn't even lasted 6 minutes. The Dominion fleet, the most powerful war machine ever constructed, was decimated. Its remnants drifted like ash in a boundless graveyard of stars. Once unstoppable, now reduced to debris. Colossal warships, now empty shells, floated aimlessly. The skeletal remains of a regime that believed itself everlasting. The handful of surviving warlords shouted into broken comms, begging for orders that would never arrive. No reinforcements, no counterstrike, no escape. One by one, their voices fell into oblivion. Humanity had ensured it. Commander Ares Draven stood firm aboard the Nemesis, eyes locked on the desolate field of destruction. The enemy lay in ruins. The Dominion's mighty armada, once the embodiment of dread, now reduced to twisted wreckage. Their systems hijacked, their weapons turned against them. Admar Roar, his second-in-command, approached slowly. What are your instructions? Draven didn't blink. No survivors. Roar hesitated. Some of their remaining ships are defenseless. They're retreating. Draven shot him a sharp glance, a warning. Roar swallowed hard. Understood. The operation entered its final phase. No mercy, no diplomacy. Humanity had extended a silent offer, a chance for peace to be left alone. That offer had been ignored. Now there would be no mercy, no do-overs. Activate the Omega Array, Draven ordered. The Nemesis shuddered. Power surged through its core. Not a weapon of dominance, but one of obliteration.